I never imagined something like this could ever happen. I never imagined something like this could ever happen. If someone had told me years ago that one person could walk into my life without warning and change the way I see everything around me, I would have smiled politely and shaken my head. I would have called it a fantasy, something written in novels or spoken about in songs. I would have said that life simply doesn't work that way, and yet, here I am, living proof that the impossible sometimes arrives quietly, carrying no announcement, asking for no permission, and leaving behind a mark that time itself struggles to erase. Before you, my days moved in predictable patterns. Morning came, evening followed, weeks disappeared into months, people entered my life and people left. Some stayed long enough to become memories, others vanished before I learned who they truly were. I accepted that this was normal. I accepted that hearts break. I accepted that promises fade. I accepted that some connections are only meant to teach lessons. Then something changed. You appeared. At first, I didn't understand what was happening. There was nothing dramatic. No fireworks, no grand confession, no perfect moment designed for movies. There was only a strange feeling, a feeling that I had known you long before I actually met you, a feeling that your presence carried familiarity. As if my soul recognized yours before my mind had the chance to ask questions. I tried to ignore it. I convinced myself I was imagining things. People meet thousands of individuals throughout their lives. Some conversations feel easier than others. Some smiles seem warmer. Some eyes appear kinder. Perhaps this was simply another passing connection. Perhaps I was reading too much into ordinary moments. But ordinary moments don't stay in your thoughts for days. Ordinary conversations don't replay themselves late at night. Ordinary people don't make silence feel comfortable. And ordinary connections don't leave you wondering why someone you've known for such a short time already feels important. That was when I realized something unusual was unfolding. Not because you said magical words, not because you promised me forever, not because everything suddenly became perfect. It was because you awakened parts of me that had been asleep for years, parts that stopped believing, parts that learned to expect disappointment, parts that built walls so high that even hope struggled to climb over them. Without trying, you made those walls tremble. Without forcing anything, you reminded me that vulnerability is not weakness. Without demanding trust, you inspired it, and that frightened me, because caring for someone means giving them the power to hurt you. It means allowing another person to see your imperfections. It means exposing scars you've spent years hiding. It means risking heartbreak all over again. I wasn't sure I was ready. In truth, I wasn't sure I ever would be. So I fought against my feelings. I created excuses. I searched for flaws. I analyzed every conversation. I questioned every emotion. I looked for reasons to step away. Yet every attempt failed. Because some people don't arrive to fit into the life you've carefully planned. Some people arrive to transform it completely. You became a mirror. You reflected the version of myself I had forgotten, the version that laughed freely, the version that dreamed without limits, the version that believed beautiful things could still happen. And slowly, almost without noticing, I started changing. I smiled more. I worried less. I allowed myself to imagine possibilities. I began looking forward to hearing from you. A simple message became enough to brighten difficult days. A short conversation became something I treasured. Your happiness mattered to me. Your struggles affected me. Your victories felt personal. And that's when I understood. This was no longer friendship. This was no longer curiosity. This was something deeper, something impossible to explain logically, because logic doesn't understand why one person's voice can calm an anxious mind. Logic doesn't explain why someone's absence can create an emptiness that seems far larger than it should be. Logic doesn't explain why seeing another person succeed feels almost as satisfying as achieving your own dreams. Feelings rarely ask for permission, they simply arrive, and once they settle inside your heart, removing them becomes nearly impossible. I wish I could tell you that everything became easy after that realization. It didn't. Life continued presenting challenges. Misunderstandings appeared. Distance created uncertainty. Timing refused to cooperate. Fear whispered negative thoughts. Doubts emerged unexpectedly. There were moments when I wondered if this connection was one-sided, moments when silence felt louder than words, moments when I questioned whether I should protect myself by letting go. But every time I considered walking away, something inside me resisted, not because I enjoy pain, not because I enjoy waiting, not because I enjoy uncertainty, but because genuine connections are rare. They don't happen every day. They don't appear around every corner. And when they do arrive, they deserve patience. They deserve understanding. They deserve effort. Perhaps that is what makes this journey so difficult. We live in a world that encourages instant results. People expect immediate answers, immediate commitments, immediate certainty, yet some relationships unfold slowly, like flowers blooming after a long winter, like sunrise gradually replacing darkness. Like waves shaping stones over many years, not everything meaningful happens quickly. Some stories require time. Some hearts need healing. Some souls need space to remember who they truly are. Maybe that's where we are right now, learning, growing, discovering ourselves while trying to understand each other. And despite every unanswered question, one truth remains. Meeting you changed me. It changed the way I see love. It changed the way I see destiny. It changed the way I see myself, because before you, I believed that extraordinary experiences belonged to other people. I believed miracles happened somewhere else. I believed deep connections were exaggerated. Now I know better. Sometimes life chooses unexpected moments to reveal its greatest gifts. Sometimes the people who affect us most arrive when we least expect them. Sometimes the heart recognizes something valuable before the mind can understand it, and perhaps that is why I keep holding on, not to fantasies, not to impossible expectations, but to the simple belief that certain encounters happen for a reason. Maybe we crossed paths to heal old wounds. Maybe we met to teach each other important lessons. Maybe we appeared in each other's lives to remind ourselves that hope still exists. Or maybe, just maybe, something beautiful is still being written, and perhaps years from now, we will look back on these uncertain days and smile. We will remember the confusion, we will remember the waiting, we will remember the moments when we almost gave up, and we will realize that every challenge was preparing us for something greater, because some stories don't begin with certainty, they begin with questions, they begin with hesitation, they begin with hearts learning how to trust again, and ours may be one of those stories. A story I never expected. A story I never planned, a story I never